Good morning. Make sure this is on tight. How are you? Oh my goodness. Let me get my seatbelt on. It is 6:20 in the a.m. I am done with my workout. We had upper body. We did back, shoulders, little triceps. It was a good workout. Of course, I started off with my cardio. So yeah. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayya, and I am your host of Motivation and Muscles with Mayya Ting. And of course, we have co-hosts right here. Co-host coffee, large today. It's gonna be a large type of day. I have 2 meetings, so I needed my co-host to come through. Let's take that first sip. That first sip is everything. Okay. That first taste. Yes. So yeah, I have a pretty packed schedule today with a limited amount of fluff time, but yeah, my day is gonna be busy, so I needed a large today. So as usual, enter into the ride carefully, right? Put on your seatbelt. Yesterday I advised you to put your seatbelt on really tight. This time I not so tight. Just a little snug, but not so much that you cut your air supply off where you can't breathe, right? Just a little snug. Put the harness down over you and the bar across your chest. Just make sure that it's a little snug. Because like I always say, I don't know which way this ride is gonna go. And I want you to be prepared, right? But I need you strapped in, because I don't need you, flying out and suing me. Just saying. Anywho. So, yeah. I got a very good night sleep last night. It was a good night. I woke up extra early, like around 2:30. Laid there, listened to some like my morning devotion. It was a good time. And then when I got to the gym, I did my cardio before I lifted, but my trainer was like, I'm sending you some supplements. So I have a new BCAA with glutamine. And that's going to help with my soreness. My entire body is sore. It's just sore. And because I work out so much, there's no recovery time, except for Saturday and Sunday. But then I'm right back at it on Monday. And normally Mondays I'm not sore, but Tuesday through Friday, I'm a whole mess. Let me straighten you guys up. There you go. Okay. I'm sore. So he gave me some BCAAs with glutamine that I'm going to have to start taking. And then I have a fat burner. I think 2 types of fat burners. I think. Don't quote me on that. So I've already ordered those. Those should be in shortly, but I do not start them until March 1st. Just to let everybody know out there, I do everything natural, so I do not take any steroids or anything like that. I mean, the worst thing that I take is a fat burner and a diuretic. The diuretic comes into play pretty much the last 8 or so days before the show, when you really want to pull out that water. Some people need it that last week or so, some people don't. Yeah, so my trainer was reminding me to make sure I eat all of my meals, because you know I'm good for skipping a meal. I need not to do that. And in my defense, I haven't lately, but if I don't feel like eating, I won't. But it's important that I eat every meal. So I'm gonna make sure I do that. I need to make time before the 1st to retie my hair. Not really looking forward to doing it, but I know I need to. And I think sometime today or maybe tonight I need to cut my hair. The back and the sides is getting a little long, so I need to go ahead and get that cut. But I retie my hair every 3 months or so. So the last retie was in November, right before Thanksgiving. So yeah, I really need to do it before March 1st, because April, May, I might do another retie before the show. February, March, April, May. Yeah, so I need to do it. Good grief. Yeah. Yeah. I need to get my life together. I need to do it so I can be on track with my hair for the show. But anyway. Coffee is life. So yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of, I think I mentioned to you guys that we need to keep that girl Legina, I think that's her name, or Angela, I don't know, the girl who believes that she's R. Kelly and Aaliyah's daughter. Keep her in her prayers. Apparently there is some drama surrounding her and some YouTubers who are trying to help her, and I'm putting that in air quotes only because I do believe that these particular YouTubers want to help her, but no one is really qualified to give her the help that she needs. And I'm not saying that I am, but what I'm saying is I'm in the field of human services / mental health, and I do work at a school. I'm not saying that I'm qualified to help this young lady, but I am qualified to see when you ain't qualified. I'll say that. When we just need to leave things to the professionals. But I do believe that sometimes we have such a genuine heart and we want to really see people through whatever they're going through. Sometimes we need to just put them in the place of the professionals and take the hands off, because we could, even through us wanting to help, can do more damage than good. And yeah, on a good note, I think a lot of people, a few of the YouTubers have raised some money for her to get out of her current situation, and she's into another situation. But anytime that this community can get together and raise money for a good cause, I think is good. As long as we're doing right by the funds, right? And sometimes it's not so much help that we're doing, but enabling that we're doing. We need to really, really be careful. And another thing, because what I'm hearing, and I don't know how true this is that this young lady is living with Jaguar Wright. And if Jaguar Wright, I'm sure we all know who Jaguar Wright is. She used to be a fairly popular R&B singer back in the 90s, I believe. And to be honest, I haven't heard of her until she appeared on YouTube. But I've seen some videos of her, and she is very talented, right? But I can also tell that she has some other things going on, some trauma and some other things. And apparently this girl who believes that she's Aaliyah's daughter is now living with Jaguar Wright. And my only concern is it's like the blind leading the blind. I mean, they both recently just got out of a mental hospital. Nothing is wrong with that. But it seems like they both have some work to do in the area of taking care of themselves and mental health. And I just don't think they should be roomies. That's just my personal opinion. It's almost like two alcoholics, active alcoholics, trying to live together or marry each other or whatever the case may be. It's like it's about to be some destruction going on, right? And sometimes, although we have the best intentions, we need to lead people who are in need of help to the professionals, and then take your hands off and allow them to do what they do. And you know what? I had to learn that the hard way. I can tell this quick story. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. Myself and my lead, who I love and adore, was called to a location because there was a student who was just being combative and making some really harsh claims against her father. So we went to where she was, and I felt so connected with this young lady, and I was really trying to pull out of her what is going on, yada yada yada. And she was telling me, and she really had a mouth on her, and I was like, listen, you know, her mom and her dad were just done. And I said, listen, do you mind if I take her with me for the day? Just to kind of talk to her, and I'll bring her back. And with mom and dad's permission, I did. And I put her in my car, and we went to my apartment, and we just talked. And I got my youngest daughter involved because I felt like at the time that my daughter was so close in age with her that she can kind of pull some things out of her that I couldn't. So all three of us kind of went out to lunch, and we just kind of chit-chatted and, you know, whatever. And I told this little girl, I said, listen, you do what your mother says, you know, you stop all the lying, blah, 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 blah. You know, like once a month, I'll come get you and we'll go get lunch. You know, we'll just have some girl time and talk, right? She was like, okay. But when it was time to bring her back, she was sitting in the back seat. I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and I can see her looking around, and I'm like, we'll just call her, we'll call her Jane. I said, Jane, you all right? She was like, yes, ma'am. I said, you don't want to go back home, do you? She was like, no, ma'am. I said, well, you know, you have to. But remember the agreement, yada, yada, yada. So I can hear her trying to open the door as I'm on the highway. But what I did was I had put the child lock on. She didn't see me do that. But I had made sure that the back door, both of the back doors had the child lock on, just in case. But she was trying to, and I said, Jane, are you trying to open the door? So anyway, we finally get back to her father's location because he owns a business nearby. And I told my daughter, go ahead and open the door, let her out, whatever. Well, the girl that got out the car and ran, honey. It was a whole mess. And I tried, and the little girl was really sweet, just had a lot of issues. And she was like, Miss Mayya, do you promise you'll never, not be in my life? I said, no, I'm going to always be in your life, right? As long as you do what you're supposed to do, and not put yourself in harm's way and get my job taken. We can do this, But remember, this is a partnership, right? There are going to be some days you're not going to like me, but we're going to still do this, right? Anyway, I worked with her. And the police had to wind up getting involved, and it was a mess. It was a mess. So what I've had to learn is do what you can, but Mayya, no more bringing home children. Don't bring no more children home. You can't save everybody. Do what you can do within the boundaries of your role. No more, no less. Because a lot of these people have attachment issues too. And I mean, after I had to get her off my caseload because she wound up not going to the school anymore. That was, there was no need for me to continue having a relationship with her. And she would call and call. She would call from hospitals. Her mother would put her in hospitals. She memorized my number and would call and have other people call me. We just have to understand our own capacity and not overdo it. Because I must admit, I did what I could for this young lady. But I think after a period of time, I did more harm than good. I was not prepared for the type of a journey this little girl was going to take me on. I just wasn't. And I wanted to. And in those situations where you're dealing with people with mental health issues and challenges, you can mess up. Just by having a heart, you can mess up. So in the situation with Legina and Jaguar, I don't think that's a good mix. I think it's going to do more harm than good. From what I'm hearing, that this young lady already has abandonment issues and allegedly has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, Jaguar, and no, she has a whole family. If you want to help get her into a hospital or get the care that she needs. But to be under you all day, your intentions is not enough. Having a heart is not enough. Sometimes we just have to do the right thing for the person based on where they are, physically and mentally. And sometimes that is in the care of professional help. Now suppose this girl winds up having an episode in your house, Jaguar, right? How you going to handle that? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? She can get really hurt. You can get really hurt. We just can't be inviting people into our homes like that. And even when I brought that little girl home, my husband was really not happy with me because he was like, wait a minute. So you mean that she has a history of throwing around misconduct allegations against her own father, but you want to bring her in my house around me? And that could put my husband in a situation, and that's true. Like, we have to be careful. We do. And I even said it, but she just needs someone who cares about her and who she needs to feel wanted, and that's all fine, well and good, but that has nothing to do with her mental health challenges. Nothing. Intentions don't help sometimes. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. I'm working with a young lady right now, but it's one that's within the capacity of what I can do. She likes to curse her mama out. She has behavioral issues. I'm qualified to deal with students with behavior issues. To a point, though. That's the thing. I can do that. Anything above that is above my pay grade and above my educational grade. And I don't want to do more harm than good. I just don't. So, know thyself first. And sometimes we have to love these people enough to take them by the hand to the nearest mental institution. I'm just saying. Because I promise, ever since COVID, before COVID really, but ever since COVID, what I've been seeing is we all have not been well. We all have been struggling. All of us. And I hope that this is an eye-opener to our government, how we don't need to pull funds from, the mental health sector. We need to be adding money to that because we're all struggling, especially in the area of grief. We're all grieving something. That Legina girl, she's grieving something, right? And she just has placed herself and made herself into the daughter of someone that she loves, and that's Aaliyah. She's really trying to disassociate herself from her reality and her life. And we've all done that, right? It's just really sad. And that's something that money can't fix. Money can't fix that. Proper help, prayer, and sometimes medication. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. And that's one thing I learned in school, because I do have a master's. If it's something that is beyond your scope, refer, and refer out. And I know on the team that I'm on, my boss, my lead is for, if you can't do it, don't. If you're not qualified to do it, do not. You'll do more harm than good. Don't try. Try to refer. How about that? Right? But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna go. I ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna say this though, then I'm gonna let it go. We have to love people enough to lead them into the care of others who can really help them. And we don't need to exploit everybody on, well, we shouldn't be exploiting anybody, but exploiting these people on the good YouTube, I'm not a fan. Why do I watch the YouTubes that exploit people? So I can have a better understanding as to what's going on. And I would never do that. It's like, it's almost like I'm watching it for educational purposes. It's like, yeah, I won't. We're going to talk a little smack over here. We're going to exercise. We're going to, motivate, edify each other. We're going to laugh a little. We might cry a little. We're going to have co-host. Yeah, but we are not. Someone with mental health challenges should not be on YouTube to be on display like in a museum. No. Unless they consent to it, but still, we have to know when. We have to say, this don't feel right. I don't know. I'ma go. I'm on one. Okay, we are pulling on in. We are parking this roller coaster. Please go ahead and disengage your seatbelt. And the harness will loosen up. And you can go ahead and exit stage left. Be careful as you exit. And it was nice having you. I think we're up to 153 or 154 subscribers. Thank you. I love you. You're loved, each and every one of you. And I pray for each and every one of you. And I thank you for supporting your girl. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you a little bit later for lunch, because we have to do our 25 ab rollers. So I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.